Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video, and thanks to the CCP I had early access to the Champion Spotlight for the Immortal Hulk. So let's take a look at this guy's abilities and see if he's Hulk smash or just, well, Hulk lame. Alright, so let's take a look at just some basic stuff about him, about Immortal Hulk. So the Incredible Hulk is dead, but resurrected in his stead is a monster much more frightening. In the day, he is a lifeless shell of what used to be Bruce Banner, but the night is his time. The Immortal Hulk has overpowered the other Hulks, becoming dominant. Now, in complete control, even the gods fear this green demon of the dark. Ooh, so scandalous. Let's take a look. All right, so let's take a look at his mechanics. Hulk brute forces his way through fights, dealing more damage for each rage stack he has, while also dealing damage to himself. Weird. However, when Hulk would be knocked out, he enters Immortality, allowing him to strike back from beyond the grave and recover the damage he dealt to himself. Oh, this guy's gonna be a lot of fun in the event quest. I have a feeling, right? The more damage he takes, so it's in line with OG Hulk, right? The more damage he takes, the lower in health he gets, the harder he hits. But this whole immortality thing, I'm wondering how it's gonna be. If it's like once like hella, or how many times you gotta knock him down. If it's like life cycle, what is it? So let's take a look at his base stats here real quick. And this guy, look at this health. What even is this for a 5-star? That's insane. This dude is a tank. He's a tank. Like, I'm convinced. That is a huge health pool as a 5-star. 42,000, that's almost 43K. Holy crap. That's a lot. All right, so he's obviously going to be a science champ, and he's going to have a lot to do with gamma radiation, immortality, stun, suppression, and petrify. So let's get into his strengths. So degen effects. Hulk's gamma radiation is strengthened by the presence of a degen debuff or passive, allowing him to recover a considerable amount of all damage dealt while the effect was active. So it's like we finally have almost a degen immune champ, right? Gladiator Hulk could kind of get around it a little bit with his face me mechanic, but this guy here seems to really bypass the degen, so that will make him great for nodes like No Retreat, Bane, that sort of thing. So, and then he's got regen and power gain. Hulk has access to several petrified debuffs, allowing him to counter high regen and power gain, so that's always a really good thing. Now let's take a look at his weaknesses. DOT, Hulk only gains gamma radiation from damage on hits, so damage over time effects will bypass this mechanic. So this is going to be great. So bringing in your bleeders like your Nick Fury is really going to help out a lot. Now, obviously he's poison immune because, well, he's the Hulk, right? So bringing in champs that do DOT like poison, incinerate, cold snap, that's really going to help you out. Degen, not so much. Sorry, Guillotine 2099, you're out. But champs that can bleed are really going to help you out. A lot of the skill class does do bleeds, so Hit Monkey would also probably be another solid option. Probably even maybe someone that does a rupture, even though it's going to be class disadvantage with Tigra. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see with that. And then defensive ability accuracy. Hulk's immortality can fail to trigger due to ability accuracy. Champions that can lower his chance to go immortal will have a much easier time with this brute. So again, a lot of your skill champs do have the AAR, so that is always really good. So kind of keep that in mind. And if this guy, I don't know if this guy's going to be tagged a villain or what he's going to be tagged, but potentially even Blade with his danger sense could really bring in, could come back to the meta. Who knows, right? And then heal block. Once immortality ends, Hulk regenerates back all damage dealt to himself unless he is heal blocked, which will be a huge loss. So bringing in a heal blocker is what we're going to want to do here. So Void would probably work out decent, especially putting all those DOTs on. So kind of got to keep that in mind. All right, now let's take a look at his abilities since we know some of his strengths and weakness. So Gamma Mutate, always active. An enhanced immune system provides full immunity to the poisons of the battle realm, which we already know, right? Because he's a Hulk. Hulk's regen rate cannot be decreased or increased by outside sources. That's nice. Gain up to X attack rating based on how much health Hulk has lost during the entire fight. This ability is based on 200% of Hulk's health. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Let's take a look at this rage mechanic that he has. So max 25 stacks. Hulk's medium attacks, the first hit of his special 1 attack, and the first and last hits of his special 2 attack apply a rage stack. Consecutive rage attacks build up rage stacks. All rage stacks are lost after 1.5 seconds without performing a rage attack. Rage stacks do not expire during Hulk's special attack. So what are these rage attacks, right? So these rage attacks deal a burst of physical damage for each rage stack. So you're going to want to build up those rage stacks. Deal a burst of direct damage to Hulk for each rage stack, except when using the medium 1 attack. Hulk cannot be knocked out by this ability. So again, while this would in theory hurt Hulk, but because he hits harder and can regen that back, it's kind of really nice. If the recoil mastery is active, the recoil damage is disabled and deals a burst of direct damage to Hulk for each, I believe that's supposed to say rage instead. Hulk cannot be knocked out by this ability. So actually, this is where having recoil is really going to help you out, right? So Hulk's damage grows with every rage stack, but he also deals increased self-inflicted damage, right? That's what this is all about. So you need to have that immortality ready. Otherwise, you could potentially get yourself knocked out, it seems like. So it seems like he's going to have a high risk, high reward type of play style. So how good is that play style going to be? Only time will tell based on when we can get our hands on him to play him. So let's go ahead and take a look at this persistent gamma radiation. So it seems like he's got persistent charges. So gamma radiation's maximum strength is equal to 100% of Hulk's max health and scales with boosts and buffs. So maybe it's not persistent charges. 100% of all self-inflicted damage is stored as gamma radiation. 20% of all damage dealt to Hulk when struck is stored as gamma radiation. So Hulk will store all of his self-inflicted damage as gamma radiation, including recoil damage. So it's not gone forever, which is crazy. So this guy has the potential to regen a good bit back up. So I talked a little bit about immortality that he has. So let's take a look at this. So when receiving damage that would knock out Hulk, consume 15% of max health as gamma radiation and gain an immortality passive. So it can't be nullified, which is nice, preventing death and becoming unblockable for 8 seconds. Woo! This ability has a 50-second cooldown. While active, any damage prevented by immortality consumes an equal amount of gamma radiation instead. This does not apply to self-inflicted damage. When immortality expires, consume all gamma radiation, become invulnerable, and gain a regen passive recovering a certain amount of health plus all gamma radiation as health over 1 second. So his gameplay is definitely unusual because it seems like his health bar is going to fluctuate a lot during the fight, right? So this could be useful for setting off abilities that trigger off thresholds, but it's risky. It seems like this is going to be a high risk, high reward play style. And having like ability accuracy reduction champs going against champs like that or going against heal blockers is really going to be difficult. So you're not going to want to use Hulk against them, but you're going to want to bring them against him in this month's event quest. So let's take a look at his heavy attack. So the first hit refreshes the rage timer and doubles the amount of rage stacks. So when you're playing him, you're going to want to weave in some heavy attacks. And the last hit gains an increase in attack rating for each rage stack. So it's really important here if you actually do grind for him or open him up in crystals that you're going to want to weave in some heavy attacks while you're playing with him. So landing the first hit of Hulk's heavy attack and comboing into a special will allow you to maximize the rage. At least that's how I'm reading this. All right, so now let's talk about his special attacks. So his special one is called Rampage and a 60% chance to inflict a stun debuff, lasting for 1 3/4 seconds on the last hit. And then the special 2 is called Shoulder Bash, which I can't wait to see what this looks like. I really hope these are fun specials to look at. 100% chance to inflict a stun debuff lasting 3 seconds on the last hit. Inflict a suppression debuff for each rage stack, reducing defensive power rate by 5% for 15 seconds, max 14 stacks. So he does have a little bit of a power control there with that special 2. Now, it seems like his most damage is going to come off with his special 2 with that long stun. So it seems like you could get off the special 2 and then build up to a special 1 to rack up a huge amount of rage stacks, which will really help you out. And then the special 3, the Devil Incarnate, add a flat 10% strength to gamma radiation, inflict a Petrify debuff, lowering regen and ability power rate by up to 25% for 20 seconds. So this is the only time that Hulk can net positive on his gamma radiation. So it's really good to use while your immortality is on cooldown, is what it seems like. All right, so now let's take a look at his signature ability, the Green Door. Hulk surges with gamma energy from the below place, gaining benefits while above certain thresholds of gamma radiation. So at 25%, basic attacks have a 5% chance to inflict a stun debuff, lasting 3/4 of a second. At 50%, when the opponent is immune to a stun effect or a stun effect expires, inflict a weakness debuff, decreasing attack by 45% for 4 seconds. That's actually a lot. And 75%, inflict an indefinite petrify debuff, lowering regen and ability power rate by 75%. So once Hulk reaches 25% gamma radiation, he can use his additional chance to stun on basic attacks as an opening for increasing his rage stacks, which is awesome. So let's take a look at his his synergies rather. So we have Alpha Flight Space Station with Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel. So Hulk at the start of each fight inflict a petrify debuff, lowering regen and ability power rate by 40% for 8 seconds. And the Captain Marvels gain plus 25% fury potency. I wish Captain Sparkles would have been added in on this as well. All right, and then he's got Gamma Mutates with She-Hulk, Immortal A-Bomb, and Sasquatch. So Synergy members gain plus 5% health. Okay, that's not really that great. Extreme Measures with Hulkbuster, Thor, Captain America, and Black Panther. So Hulk personal stun effects have a plus 10% increased duration. That's nice. And the Synergy members, opponents suffer minus 10% ability accuracy while stunned. So that will work out really well when, you know, you're parried. And then he's got Helen back with Dormammu and Mephisto. And so at the start of each fight, Hulk sacrifices 50% of his current health, gaining an equal amount of gamma radiation. That's actually kind of nice because that means you're going to start out doing a lot of damage. Dormammu gain up to 75% attack rating based on dark energy charge, and Mephisto knocking out #villains grants 1 soul charge. So that's not, I mean, it's okay for the other two, but that's actually kind of really nice for Hulk, for how his abilities are. But anyways, guys, that's all that I got for the Immortal Hulk Champion Spotlight. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Immortal Hulk? What do you think of his playstyle? Do you think it seems like a very high risk, high reward playstyle? Or do you think it's just way too complicated to learn how to do? Do you think Kabam should have given us someone else? Or are you excited for the Immortal Hulk? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching and enjoy this message from Kevin Smith.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith, and if you enjoyed the mediocre MCOC video full of scrub gameplay, then show Katy some love by hitting like and subscribe, man. Katy don't ask for much. Katy did ask for this. Katy did. So do like Katy did and bug people and get you to like and subscribe, man. She's doing that MCOC beautifully. Not mediocre. Katy!